culture, vision, mission. You don't have to change those things if they're being developed from within. You're hiring someone that's not only a fit for the work, but they're also a fit for the culture, for the team. Good morning. Welcome to this edition of the Morning Dig podcast. I've got a topic that I think will help a lot of small business owners from my own experience, and it's talking about the difference between developing from within versus hiring from the outside. This is a topic that I think a lot of people struggle with, and it's not because you don't know, it's not because of a lack of opportunity. I think the struggle between the choice of developing from within or hiring from the outside comes from imposter syndrome and just a lack of understanding of how to develop someone. So if you ask me which one is more important, I think it's a combination of both. I think it's important to constantly be developing from within, because you just never know who's out there, who's the right fit in a different seat on your bus that could be the game changer you need, that lacks the need for development in terms of, certain things you may not need. Like, for example, culture, vision, mission. You don't have to change those things. You don't have to train somebody on those things if they're being developed from within. However, they're also very adapted to how to maneuver within your company and may have certain understandings of how to skate by when you need someone that's a bit of a harder charger. So I think there's times where bringing in some fresh blood is the right choice for the culture of your business, and sometimes not overlooking someone who maybe has earned an opportunity within your company to go to the next level, not missing out on them. I generally like to hire general managers and operations managers for my gyms from within, because I know they understand the culture, they understand the community, they understand the people, they understand how we operate, and ultimately they've usually work their way up from a really starter level position in the company. So they've seen and done a lot of things. So they have a pretty good understanding of the overarching operation of the company, and they have a decent relationship with most of the staff. However, there are times where maybe you need a certain level of expertise, or you need certain skill sets, or you need a background, or where you don't have that at your disposal and you need to hire from the outside. Also, totally fine. Like it's a great choice. You just need to make sure that when you're hiring from the outside, you're hiring someone that's not only a fit for the work, but they're also a fit for the culture, for the team. And that is sometimes can be a little more difficult than it looks, not because you're bad at hiring or bad at interviewing, but people give you their best foot forward in an interview. And if you get someone that's really crafty, they're going to figure out what you want to hear and maybe make themselves look better than they actually are. And over time, after you've hired them, you're going to see the real version and realize they're probably not the fit you thought they were. So just some pros and cons there to think about. But I definitely recommend always looking at both options and figuring out what the best next move for you is, whether that's developing from within or hiring from the outside. Either way, you're going to get some great options if you've been putting in the work and making sure that you know exactly what you need. And as always, keep digging in.